Hello and good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in this world we call home, this earth. So what drives you? And how do angels and universal energy help you in those moments when you just really don't feel like it, when you are ready to throw in the towel, or at least for the day or the next couple of days? What is it that drives you to keep going? Why should you keep going? Maybe your dream is big enough, maybe it isn't. Maybe the vision you have is so huge and so grand or great that it seems almost impossible to get there. Maybe it's breaking through, excuse me, the glass ceiling of where you used to be. Maybe what's driving you are sometimes the triggers. So what triggers you? I wasn't even going to do a Facebook Live today, and I actually was stomping around a couple hours ago. And yet here I am, because it's not about me. Well, in part it is, but the overall plan is not about me. It involves me in honoring what I came here to do, which is to help others to connect with their inner intuitive self, their biggest why, to help them figure out what their blind spot is, their trigger, to help them connect to angels and universal energy for success and prosperity in whatever way that is for them. So how do you keep moving forward when it looks like everything's falling apart? And we've had part of this discussion before. So what drives you? For some people, actually for the majority of people, and we're talking between 80 and 90%, and it's so sad to say, but the majority of people walking on this planet, hello beautiful DC, are simply content to move their mouth and sit on their batukas, and they don't do a damn thing except flap their gums. What drives them? Absolutely nothing. And the other truth is, what drives them is fear. Fear of actually having to do something, to get off their batukas, to, as some people would say, put their money where their mouth is. What drives most people is the fear of failure, the fear of being a fool or looking like one, being rejected, being ridiculed, being talked about. Oh gosh. And sometimes what drives others is anger and frustration and just, by golly, sheer will and determination to get through that glass ceiling that seems to be there for so many. What drives you to keep reaching for the stars and beyond that? What drives you to keep expanding spiritually so that your insides, your inner game, we talked about that recently, that your inner game matches your dreams, your desires, your wishes, your thoughts, and your emotions, so that all of that together is in alignment, and the outer starts to match the inner. If the outer and the inner are not a match, if they're not matching, if you're not manifesting what you want, if it's not showing up in your outer world, your outer physical experience, and there's a kink somewhere. There is a slowing of the faucet. The flow has been turned off or down to a trickle. That can show up in how you believe. I mean, really deeply believe. And I'm not talking about I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, I believe, so you say it 100 million times. That doesn't change it. It starts, but it doesn't change it, because if you never get out of your head and you never get down to your heart level, and then even further into your soul level, to really believe beyond anything, beyond that undeniable knowing, and you have your trust and faith even when you get all PO'd and something triggers you and you know it triggers you and then you get pissed because you're triggered. Been there, right? And if you say no, okay, I'll take you at your word, but are you being honest and truthful with yourself? So anyway, what drives you to want more, to succeed, to be at that level of prosperity so that you can actually do more with your life, for your family, for your clients, for this great big old long list that Spirit has for you? What drives you? What drives me is I am simply not going to fail. I'm not going to shrink back. I am not going to stop. I am going to keep forward. I am succeeding. Even when the ego, the human conscious mind says, you did it once, but do you really think you can do it again? Do you really think that you're making a difference? The answer is yes. I do. And if I don't believe that, then I'm absolutely not able to help another single soul. And that is simply not acceptable. It's not tolerable. So what drives you? My vision drives me. Sometimes it drives me a little around the bend. But what drives you? Why do you want what you want? What are you doing to get there, to get out of your own way, to figure out the blind spots, to figure out the triggers, to healing them is kind of on the woo-woo side, and yet what are you doing to solve it? What are you doing to release yourself from the past? What triggers you? Share this video. It needs to be shared. And sure, my energy isn't exactly where I like it to be. It's certainly a lot better than it was a few hours ago. And you know what else? I'm showing up. In spite of what conscious mind, ego chitter chatter is trying so hard to get me to just pout and forget the day. And now that I feel like I'm actually getting a little bit ahead, it wants me to quit. Oh, hell no. I'm not quitting. I'm not going to quit. I am going to keep moving forward, and I hope you will do the same. Share this video. Post in the comments. What triggers you? What drives you forward when it looks like you're banging your head against a brick wall, you're bumping up against that glass ceiling that people have told you for years and years and years? You know, starving artist, starving healer. You want to make money doing what? Go get a job. And this is not to knock any one person, not one single soul, about having a job, because some people are fabulous where they are, and that is their goal. I go to a certain coffee shop, I don't want to name the name, and it is my favorite spot. And one of the baristas told me, he said his dream was to work at this particular chain. And I asked him what his next dream was. He didn't have one. And I found that a little peculiar at the time. And yet, I don't know where he came from. I don't know his background. And so being a barista at this particular coffee shop is a dream come true for him. And maybe he'll become shift leader, maybe a manager at some point. I don't know. And he's already attained part of his dream. Everyone has their own dream, and it's not all about being in business for yourself. It is about career advancement. It's about sharing who you are, showing up in spite of it all and because of it all. So please share this video. Post in the comments what drives you. I will come back round and say hello to everyone and respond to your comments. What drives you, beautiful soul? Are you a mover and a shaker? Are you success and prosperity oriented? Are you an entrepreneur? Are you interested in spiritual growth? Maybe all of the above or some? What drives you? Go below the surface. Be real with yourself. Ask the angels and universal source to help you. Figure it out so that you can continue to move forward a step at a time, no matter what the path looks like in the moment. What drives you? I know what drives me. Now it's your turn. Share it with me, and if you prefer, message me. Do share this video, and thank you for being here now, or if you're seeing us later. This is the Angel Lady, Terry Marie. Bye-bye for now.